So it seems like every year that passes by, fewer and fewer cars are being made with manual transmissions. Today I'll be explaining why stick shift cars are dying off here in the United States. What's up guys, I'm Christian and this is Vehicle Virals. If you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe for more weekly automotive content. Well, except for last week. But anyways, let's begin. The first reason is barrier of entry. You're gonna need someone willing to teach you how to drive a stick. But let's be honest, most people here in the US drive an automatic car. You take that already small percentage and cut it down to people you know. Cut it down further to the people that will actually take the time to teach you. What are you left with? Not that many options. Then add that you'll need a manual car to learn in. You have two options. Either you buy a stick car to learn in, or you use someone else's car. And I'll tell you from personal experience, no one likes teaching a newbie how to drive stick in their own personal car due to the obvious: increased wear and tear. One mistake and there goes half of your clutch's life. Then there is the actual learning process. Sure, it may not be too bad learning to drive stick in an open parking lot or a big isolated area, but what happens once you get on the road to practice? You know, with actual drivers, traffic obstacles, and pedestrians around. Driving stick in the open road can be terrifying for beginners, even more terrifying for those that live in a crowded urban environment. Arguably the hardest thing to learn is taking off from a complete stop, especially on a hill. Sure, it's much easier to do that when no one is around, but in traffic, that's a whole different game. The pressure of bumper to bumper traffic, other drivers honking, and the fear of hitting another car can be rough and something most people just rather not deal with. It's much easier to avoid all those steps and just drive an automatic. Second reason manual transmission cars are dying is because us Americans just aren't buying them. They're doing just fine in other parts of the world, but in the US it's just not the case. Back in 2006, 47% of new vehicle models offered in the US were available in both automatic and manual transmissions, according to a study made by Edmond.com. In 2011, that number dropped to 37%, and in 2016, that number got slashed down to 27%. I know what you're thinking, well, 27% isn't that low.
But wait! There's more!
In 2016, less than 4% of car sales were cars with a manual gearbox. Now compare that to some European and Asian countries where their sales for manual cars are as high as 80%. The sad thing is that in the US that percentage is not going up, it's heading for zero. Less and less car manufacturers are offering the option to equip a manual, but can you blame them? After all, it's just business. Many car manufacturers offer a few amount of manual transmission cars on their cheaper low-end models for reasons you might not know. Since manual transmissions weigh less and are cheaper to produce, car manufacturers can price these vehicles low enough to entice customers into the dealership. That doesn't mean they sell in great numbers though. A car manufacturer or dealer can simply use the lower price point solely for ads to get you to come in. And once you're there, they'll use many of their sales tactics to get you to purchase a more expensive automatic model. Marketing at its finest. Some automakers want to appeal to the real enthusiasts, but when sales for manual transmission cars below 4%, it makes that tough. Third reason is efficiency. Many of the pros of owning a manual are no longer a factor. Things like cheaper sticker price, better performance, and better gas mileage. It's not what they used to be. Automatic transmissions have come a long way. They were once less efficient than a manual car and much more expensive too. Nowadays, many automatic vehicles here in the US are more fuel efficient and much quicker too. Then add the recent addition to the quicker shifting dual clutch transmission which many performance cars are using. And where does that leave the stick shift? Pretty far behind if you ask me. The sad truth is that the dual clutch transmission offers better performance results by eliminating human error and decreasing the time between shifts. Supercar companies are always chasing the fastest track times, and this explains why companies like Ferrari have completely transitioned over to the dual clutch transmission. That and the fact that you can tailor your driving experience with a quick use of settings such as knobs or switches, something that a car using a manual transmission cannot do. The fourth and last reason is convenience. Of course, convenience doesn't matter for most enthusiasts that ultimately want a more engaging experience. We prefer to have more control of our driving. But for everyone else, why own a manual transmission when you can own an automatic where all you have to do is press on the gas pedal to move forward? Here are some examples why driving a stick can be inconvenient. Let's say you go to a party and you get wasted. What are the chances that there will be someone there that knows how to drive manual and can drive you back? Or maybe you decide to take a long road trip with a friend. You either make sure your friend can drive a manual, or you'll end up having to fork over some money and renting over an automatic car. This all might sound like small reasons not to get a car equipped with a manual transmission, but this all adds up to what I previously mentioned about us Americans not buying stick shift cars. It's also much easier to multitask while driving an automatic, something you should never do. People text, eat, put on makeup all while driving. Those are just some things that would be much more difficult to do while driving a stick shift car. And those are some reasons why the manual transmission is dying here in the US. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more of my content, make sure to subscribe. Like always guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.